Hello friends, welcome to Starfirecodes channel messages. This is a collective reading. The dates on my readings are the dates on which they were channeled. All of my readings are timeless. Whenever they find you, that's when they're meant for you. Please remember to take only what resonates and leave the rest behind. If this reading resonates with you and you would like to access the rest of the reading, which includes the tarot cards that were pulled, numerology, shufflemancy, and often clairaudience, there's a link to the extended reading below in the description box. Extended readings are located on Substack at starfirecodes.substack.com. A subscription to my Substack will provide you with access to the extended archive of all of my readings. To book a personal reading, you may contact me at the email address in the description box below. Let's begin. Hop happily down the street for no apparent reason. Spider Spirit, make your dreams real. Weaving your dreams into the fabric of life begins with a single thread of intention, and then Spirit joins you as your co-weaving partner. Take but a single step to make your dream a reality, and Spirit will take 10 toward you, for the universe is designed to support your dream weaving. Spider Spirit arrives when you need reminding of the awesome power of co-creation with Spirit. Ideas and resources will begin to appear as if by magic as you begin to bring your dreams from the realm of intention into the world of the senses where they take form. The action you need to take is to be clear about your intentions and then act as if you have become the one that lives the life you desire. The web of creation has an uncanny way of coming together to weave the beautiful pattern you set in motion. Another message of Spider Spirit is about any creative project you may be considering: writing, painting, music, journaling, gardening, etc. Now is the time when inspiration wants to be channeled, even though you, as something creative, even artistic and tangible. Creative projects are successful now, if you are so inclined. Let yourself be open to abundance. Are you expecting your dreams to weave themselves into reality? Are you stuck in the sticky web of weaving dreams but never following through? The thread of intention isn't going to make dreams a reality unless you do your part in the weaving. Spider Spirit wants you to know that your plans will remain ephemeral unless you commit to being productive and industrious, for Spirit will not do it all for you. Magic needs to be instigated, so begin to make your dream a reality by taking action today. What are you willing to do? What are you willing to sacrifice? Can you release your limiting beliefs? Your dream is worthy of weaving. Today is a day to choose one small step toward your dream. Remember, Spirit is your weaving partner. You just have to be the first one to bring the thread to the loom, then continue to do your part. Mama Kila, the moon. Mama Kila, the Incan goddess of the moon, presides over the power of cycles and seasons. The moon rules the night sky, returning full 13 times in a year. The ancients marked time by the moon to know when to plant, when to harvest, when to store food, and when to celebrate fertility. Right now, you are invited to see what is familiar and decide whether you need to improve on it or leave things as they are. The answer to your inquiry can be found in the timing of things and the cycle you're in. You can apply the idea of natural cycles to relationships, creative projects, personal growth, and more. If you are honest with yourself, you will see that there is no way to control these cycles, only to use the creative energy that they offer to help you. If your relationship is unclear yet brimming with potential, you might turn to the new moon energy that shows up in the spring cycle of life. In that case, you just need to allow the relationship to grow naturally, to be clear in your intentions. When your outer world seems to be slowing down with obstacles rising up and temporarily blocking your every move, do not put up resistance. Instead, take advantage of the need to rest and recalibrate your intentions as you wait for the cycle to change. No matter what, like the cycles of the moon, there is divine order in everything that is happening in your life right now. Once you know this, the goddess Mama Kila welcomes you to her divine moon dance of co-creation. Hestia, home. Being at home in your own skin is what the Greek goddess of the hearth, Hestia, offers you today. When you are in alignment with your truest self, it's like everything you do suddenly fits and feels right. Now is the time to also look into your domestic environment, making sure you are surrounded by beautiful things that have a special positive meaning for you. Cleaning, tending house, and taking care of simple things are what is called for now. Chop wood and carry water, as the Zen Cone puts it. The answers to the big questions come of their own accord when you're focused on the small tasks. The goddess Hestia reminds you that when you're at home in yourself, you are at home in the world. Demeter, nurturer. Giving to others is a wonderful feeling. When you have a healthy sense of yourself, you want to share your love, your inspiration, and your experience, and the exchange feels clean. Your boundaries are fluid yet strong. The Greek goddess of grain, motherhood, and the harvest, Demeter, reminds you that a harvest is meant to be shared. You've now tapped into her nurturing love, which is abundant, and your well-meaning gestures will be received with gratitude and in some way returned to you tenfold. Now is the time to nourish yourself too, for giving must be balanced by receiving. Allow yourself to feel how the universe is like a wonderful nurturing mother that is always there when you need her. Demeter says to trust that you are loved and cared for all day, every day, and for all time, especially now. Caradwen, potential. You are a child of infinite potential, and the Celtic goddess Caradwen is here to remind you of the power that resides in the wombs of your heart and the chalice of your mind. Everything you need is coming together right now, as if your life's reflection were shining brightly in a golden liquid in Caradwen's magical, transformative cauldron. Imagine greatness, and there will be greatness. Envision peace, and there will be peace. Choose love, choose gratitude, and choose faith in the divine magic that flows through you. These are the only ingredients needed for the goddess Caradwen to work her transformation magic on your behalf. Regardless of the limitations imposed on your world by fate, culture, and conditioning, your true destiny is coalescing on your behalf. You can be anything you imagine. Remember this: dream and trust that everything you need exists to make that dream a reality. This is the promise of the goddess Caradwen. Ye, the sun. When you shine your light into the world, you will attract various people and experiences that match or challenge your commitment to being empowered. Right now, you are receiving information to know which choice to make, which opportunity to take, and which person to trust. The Aboriginal Australian sun goddess Ye illuminates your path with her rays and brings clarity as she shows you what you need to know. A bright light also attracts a lot of bugs, so know that you may also attract those who see themselves smaller as a result of your empowerment. This is conditioning that needs to be healed in many people in the world. All you can do is be incandescent and joyful, kind and truthful, and the world will begin to reflect that goodness back to you. The goddess Yi is happy to help you shine. Oshun, generosity. There is a universal law that centers around unrestrained generosity and flow. Oshun, the benevolent Yoruban river goddess, the representation of nourishment, healing, fertility, and prosperity, reminds you that life herself is given to you freely. You have been offered air to breathe, water to drink, food to eat, and shelter to sleep in. So it is your task to give freely of yourself, no matter how big or small the act, without expectation of receiving anything in return. The goddess Oshun encourages you to allow gratitude to permeate everything you do right now, even the smallest of opportunities and gestures. The very experience of giving and being generous with your heart, time, money, assistance, kindness, and care will provide more value than you can imagine. And when you release all attachment to the outcome, you will be surprised to see how the good fortune you have bestowed on others comes back to you tenfold. Oshun reminds you that this is a truth that has existed since time began and will continue until the world's very end. This is a path of emotional responsibility, family, in its most obvious guise. But this responsibility can take many forms. Here the path is one of intimacy and involvement, an intertwining of paths that produces additional paths. The guides don't come forward and say who is who, but sometimes I can tell by the energy or the sense of humor. Most people are still stuck in the mindset of trying to prove the minutiae to people who refuse to see it, which is not helpful. It's just giving power to their being dismissive of facts. This Pisces full moon is linked to events that were unfolding back in early September on the Virgo new moon, but they're also linked to the events that were stirring back in mid-March under the Pisces new moon. A few days ago, I pulled a card in my Alice deck, which is different from the other deck, the Dame Darcy deck. In my Alice deck, the Sun card, which is the happiest card in the deck, is Humpty Dumpty. The Sun card represents Leo. I have Leo placements. This is just a particular energy. For me, it's Jupiter and Black Moon Lilith. Luck and shadow. To me, seeing Humpty Dumpty up on the wall, I said this card requires full vulnerability. In order to attain happiness, the card requires that you crack yourself open. Fast forward to today, different deck, same reading, be an egg. My progress requires my vulnerability, and I can see my lack of vulnerability reflected back to me and others when they close off. If I won't be an egg, neither will they. If this reading resonated with you and you would like to access the rest of the reading, which includes tarot cards that were pulled, numerology, shufflemancy, and often clairaudience, there is a link to the extended reading below in the description box. Extended readings are located on Substack at starfirecodes.substack.com. For a monthly or yearly fee, a subscription to my Substack will provide you with access to the extended archive of all of my readings. If you would like to book a personal reading, you may contact me at the email address in the description box below. However, if this is where we leave each other, I wish you all the best. Have a wonderful day, friends, and I'll see you next time.